We know that we are so odd and complicated that we need you to put in the effort to figure us out for the rest of your life. Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Give to My App. I'm Sir Arca Star, and today we are talking about what women want. And as someone with vagina, I think I have the authority on these things. So, oh boy. Um, I am speaking from the point of view of a woman who is very particular, who likes things a very specific way, who is very structured, but also very spontaneous, who has off days and good days and bad days, and not exactly expects you to read her mind, but has a method to her madness. So if your woman sounds anything like this video is for you. So, what women want? Above all, a woman wants you to understand her. And I think a really good gauge, like more specifically for Hispanic women, but it captures the essence of women overall, is Marcelo Hernandez's comedy special. He goes so in depth about the way that women are and the things that they do to be pretty and the things that they do to make men like them, find them attractive, you name it, whatever. And it purposely and it perfectly encompasses what a woman is. So don't go there yet. Listen to me first, but you should watch that after. Um, a woman, above all, wants you to listen to her. They want you to understand them. Women are simple in the sense that we all just want one thing and we all want to be understood. And every woman has their own way of which they like to be understood. And that's where people start saying, oh, women get complicated. Well, it's like, yeah, like we're not all the same in the sense of like there's, one answer to everything when it comes to how guys treat us or whatever. But I think that that's where you as a man or as a woman, whatever, but I feel like women understand women. So yeah, I'm speaking to the men. That's where you as a man have to decide, do I want to put in the effort to understand this beautiful, beautiful mess? Because all women are beautiful messes. We're all interesting. Like, I'm not here to tell you women are perfect. I'm not here to tell you that we're simple. I'm not here to tell you that we're just these amazing creatures. No, we are amazing, but not in like a way that a man would call amazing. Something that you must understand, and even if you don't notice it, she notices these things. Her face will regularly change. And by that I mean on some days she's going to think this. Your woman will think that her face is bloated. She'll think that her eye bags are looking crazy and dark and insane. She's going to think she looks fat. She's going to think that her chins are chinning, as I would say. That's one of my main critiques about myself. She's going to think her nose is too big. She's going to think her eyes are too far apart. She's going to think her eyebrows don't look the way that they should, that something is just off. She's going to have issues with the way her ears look. She's going to look really closely at her neck and find something wrong with it. She's going to look at her hairline and be like, oh my God, my hairline's receding. More than half the time, she's wrong. But as women, we like to nitpick about everything about ourselves because that's what women do. That's what we do. And you as a man have got to find the spot where your woman likes to be, I guess, not complimented, but comforted. Because me, when I point out these things, in the moment, I do not want my man to acknowledge these terrible things I'm saying about myself. But if they're true, if any of them are true, I would like you to come to me with the truth a little bit after I've already just settled with whatever BS I just put myself through. And some women like when you completely negate everything they say. And I'm not like that. I hate a yes man kind of man for certain things. Certain things I want you to always say yes to. But there are certain things like, no, if I say that by yes man, you're gonna get what I'm saying in a second. Like if I say that I feel like I look fat and you say, no, of course, like you look so slim. Stop, you're a liar. Cause that's just too far the opposite. If I say, I feel like I'm ugly and you call me beautiful. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be saying I'm beautiful because you love me, but like, can you be honest and be like, you know what, today's not your best day, or like at least say that you get it, or just completely like just take the conversation elsewhere. But that's just me. Some women, some women want you to do that. Some women want you to just, in very simple terms, just kiss them and tell them that they're pretty whenever they complain about themselves. Every woman has a very different complex. Some Every woman's insecurities come from very different places. Some women, I'm gonna keep this centered on women. Some women are insecure because their mothers, their fathers, their family, whatever, taught them that the way they naturally are is just hideous and gross and disgusting. Some women have just this hate in their heart towards themselves because of something that they were told when they were younger by a friend, a teacher, someone outside of their family. Like there are too many reasons why women hate themselves, and it sucks that they exist. Or just like, the media, social media, billboards, television, celebrities, you name it. Like there's so many reasons that a woman will hate herself, and a lot of times they don't even know. They don't even know why or whatever. And as cool as it would be if you just knew the reason, and for that to help you figure out how to talk to your woman, that more than likely will never be the case. So with that said, you have to decide that that woman is worth doing the work for. I think that is the best way to put it, because some women you don't want to put in the work for. Like, I think that you need to, how do I say this, like, you're gonna run into a whole bunch of women. You're gonna touch them, fill them up, kiss them, love them, date them, like them, whatever. But there's going to be one who you're like, you know what? I like this one. I want to keep this one. I want to live with this one. I want a family with this one. I trust this one. All these things. And you have to decide that she is worth putting in the work to understand, because it will take you your entire life to understand that woman. And you have to be okay with that. That is the, you know, this unofficial agreement that you have agreed to when deciding that you want someone to be your forever partner. You have full on agreed to figure out this person for the rest of your life. And I think that that's nice. I like, this all goes back to how like love is effort, and love is noticing, love is knowing, love is all that stuff. And I think that that's beautiful. But with that comes a lot of like annoying stuff that she will say on a regular. And even though you don't agree with it, you got to find out how she likes to be comforted in those situations. Okay. This is something I've noticed is becoming popular. The idea of like, oh, like my girl's overstimulated and I happen to do X, Y, and Z, like insert, stupid, annoying boy things that you guys do. Being overstimulated is such a thing. And I don't know if it has to do with our hormonal cycles or what, but every woman has different things that overstimulate them. That's a whole other thing. And I I don't know. I feel like I'm overstimulated like, I don't know, 50% of the time. It's a lot of the time. And it can be anything. Like, I hate when guys are like, I don't even know what's overstimulating her. Like, nothing's even happening. No, like sometimes I'm overstimulated all up here in my head. I am thinking about a million and one things. Like, there are like too many tabs open. I know that's like an overused metaphor, but like too many tabs open in my head. And the last thing I want to hear about or talk about is whatever you have to say. And it sounds so messed up, but it's the truth. Like sometimes, as your woman's boyfriend, as your woman's husband, as your woman's whatever the heck, like, you not necessarily have to be a punching bag, but you just got to eat it. Like, you just got to, and that's if you're, adding to the overstimulation. Like, on the opposite end, you could also just chill out and just wait like an hour and she'll be fine. But overstimulation is very real. It is so real. And especially like, I love the idea of like black cat girlfriend, golden retriever boyfriend. But for those of you like myself with the golden retriever boyfriend who just wants to do the most at the most random times, who wants to like start a bit. I think that that's the thing that gets me the most, when when my boyfriend wants to start a bit or he wants to like get into character, because we're funny, we have like our things that we go back and forth with, and they're like silly and stuff, and I am not there. If my head is not ready to be like in that space, whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Shut up, just shut up, please, just shut up. I can't. Like, I think that's probably one of the most overstimulating things a man can do. If it's like, if you guys have like a certain like funny flow that you guys get into, and you are not in that flow, speaking to the women, if you're not in that flow and your man is, it's a bad day. It's not even a bad day. It's just a bad moment, I guess. That that just drives me up a wall. But for the women listening, that's the price you pay for having, a golden retriever boyfriend. Like, I don't know. Like, I think back at every time that I've been overstimulated and my boyfriend's just been on some bullshit. Like, I don't know, he just wants to start joking and all this stuff. And I look back and I'm like, that is the extent of our problems. Like, I'm grateful that that is what pisses me off the most about him. So for the women on here, if that happens to be your situation, don't let that be an ick. Don't let that be something that has you like, oh, but he does this one thing. No, that's the only thing he does. But for the men, you should also stop. You should also read the room. You should also just, I don't know, like, women are so complicated. Like, okay, you know what? We are complicated. But like, everyone's different. Like, I think that in the, like, not even hierarchy, but let's like organize humans into how complicated they are. Men are all the way at the bottom. Men are not that complicated. I will say that. Men are pretty simple. They're complicated in the sense of like every species, not species, but like subcategory of man is different, but every subcategory of man wants the same types of things in the same ways. I don't know. I don't know if that like nicely explained it, but it's like every each type of guy has a set like rule book, I feel like. And it's very easy to figure that out. Women, those subcategories have more subcategories and more subcategories and more subcategories. And I don't think it ever ends. Women are weird. Women are strange. And I'm just glad that, you know, I got someone who understands this strange woman. I think that that's great. I think that this is like the epitome of emotional intelligence when it comes to dealing with women. I think that the reason that women ask for emotional intelligence is because we understand that we are complicated creatures and that we're weird and that there are so many different things about us. Like, that's the part that we don't say. We say we want emotional intelligence, we want emotional intelligence. But really, the reason we want it is because we know that we are so odd and complicated that we need you to put in the effort to figure us out for the rest of your life. I think that is, I cracked the code. I just cracked the code. Cause I was talking to my boyfriend about my male friends, and like, I don't know, I just really like just analyzing my friends and why we work and stuff. Like understanding my friends helps me understand myself and what I want out of life, what I want out of people, what I expect from, everything that I do. And I was thinking about my male friends in particular because like my female friends, like there's always this deep, deep closeness and this trust and, this like giving up of information about ourselves without question kind of thing. Like it's just, the sisterly bonds are just really strong. And I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things like you kind of know as soon as you meet them. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, I love my girls. But with guys, I realize all I ask is two things. One, that you're funny, because funny guys are cool people to be around. And two, that you don't want to screw me. And I don't think like I have so much less expectations, not expectations, but less rules for men, just because like men are simple. Like men do friendships and all that stuff like very differently. But I was saying that the men I hold closer to me are the ones with more emotional intelligence. Like the ones that I consider deeper friendships are the ones who I can, talk to about like real stuff, and they'll give me real responses, and who understand when Erica's in silly mode and when Erica's not. Because I have friends who they're not necessarily that they'll like beat me up when I'm down, but it's just very annoying little brother. Like very, very annoying little brother. Like you don't like they can see me crying and they're like, girl, like shut up. Like, like I have friends who like I'm clearly not in the mood and I do want to start shadow boxing. And I'm like, bro, please stop. Please stop. But they're not my man. And that's why they're my friends, because you're just a guy. Like I don't expect you to put in that much effort to like learn me when your job is to learn your woman, Like I'm not expecting you to put in all this stuff to like no, like that's what you have your woman for. So it's like I give them grace there, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to hold you as close to me as I would, my friend who does get me, and who I can talk to and stuff. That's just the way that it is. But it doesn't make anybody less of a friend than another. It just means I'm just closer to, like inevitably closer to certain people, because like the friends who like don't get it, like I don't hold that against them. But they serve a different purpose in my life, and I think that's fine. And I go on and on and on about different friends serving different purposes in my life on this podcast all the time. So yeah, that's what I mean by that. All that to say, men are very simple. Men are very, very simple. And what they're willing to do and all that stuff, like it very much has to do with whatever else they're doing in life. Like you could look at a man's life and be like, yeah, you're not going to put in effort to learn someone, or you're not going to put an effort to learn, at least your friends, but you will your woman. Like you could just you could look at their job, you could look at where they are in life, like if they're living with their parents, if they're living on their own. You could just look at like random landmark things in their life and determine whether or not they're someone who cares enough to care enough. So yeah, but women, you know, women, they could be dealing with a million and one things and not care about you. And it's because they're dealing with a million and one things. Men, I feel like if they care about a lot of things, then they'll also care for you, because that's just how they do things. I feel like a way that a man does one thing is how he does everything. And I know that they say that, like, that's a popular quote and stuff, but I feel like that's true for men. I feel like for women, sometimes they can care about a lot of things and not care about you because they care about all the other things more. Like women have more of like a gauge for how they care about different things. They can care about their family more than their job, and care about their man more than their job, and care about, their dog more than their family. Like, like there's like a whole bunch of stuff. And, women have like the added layer that I was talking about before about like their looks and vanity and stuff. And they can care about their vanity less than everything else. And maybe they look like crazy and whatever. I don't know. I'm just creating this fake woman. But the whole point is to say that women have varying levels of care for all the different parts of their life. And I feel like men, everything is the same. So like you can look at a guy and see, his life and stuff, and you can decide whether or not he cares about his friends or if he cares about his person. Or how he does things. Like if he does things in a way where there's like always exceptions and stuff, then like that's the price you're gonna have to pay if you're dealing with that kind of man, because you'll never know if you'll be the exception. Oh my god, I'm sorry, my nose is itching, but it's because I put moisturizer on, and I don't know, it just gets like that. I don't want you guys thinking anything weird. But yeah, so all that to say, um, men who overstimulate their girlfriends are not bad guys. They're not. They just had nothing better to do. And when what your man wants to do when he's not doing anything else is just bother you, don't complain, because they could be bothering someone else. They could be poking around somebody else's DMs, and we don't want that. So yeah. One thing I will say to men when it comes to getting brownie points from your woman. Notice when she does something different. And like I know like it's like an overused joke like on TV and in movies where a woman does something different. The first thing he says is like, did you do something new with your hair? Oh my God. We want you to know us on a microscopic level. If I don't know, if my boyfriend makes this thing makes this joke all the time, but I work out, right? And I'll do a new workout like every time I like realize I have an imbalance somewhere or there's something new I need to work out. I'll work out whatever body part and then really soon after I'll be like, babe, did you notice that now there's like this new little like dent in my back because I started doing rows a certain way and and I'll have only done the workout like twice. And he'll look at me, he'll be like, "Do you want me to be so serious right now?" And I'm like, "You didn't notice?" He's like, "How do you expect me to notice?" He's like, "How do you expect me to notice that really tiny small thing when you haven't been doing the workout long enough?" And he was like, "And don't you dare get mad at me for not noticing." But I'm a woman. Of course I'm gonna get mad. Not for long, but I'm gonna be annoyed and be like, "You telling me you don't see what I see?" But like I see my body all the time. He doesn't. But all logic goes out the window. Out the window. Um, but yeah, so when we do things that you notice, don't just be like, oh yeah, of course I noticed that. Let's say your girl goes from having like super long hair, cuts her hair to a bob, she comes home and you like her hair and all that, but you don't say anything because you're like, well, it's so obvious that I'm noticing it. And if I'm not mentioning anything, it means I don't have an issue with it, which must mean that I like it. Like, stop. Say, babe, like, whoa, your hair. And I know that was a silly example because like that's a huge transformation, but let's new pair of glasses, right? Something she wears on her face every day. She had a light blue pair, now she has a dark blue pair. When she comes home and she's wearing that new pair of glasses, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, babe, that new pair of glasses looks so nice on you." And she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you noticed my glasses?" And even if she didn't even like the glasses as much before, she likes them now because you noticed. Like, a man's life can be so simple if he understands all the complicated stuff about his woman. And I know like happy wife, happy life is a thing, and it's so true. It's so true. I don't know anything truer. Oh my goodness, my nose is so itchy. I'm so sorry. I'm like scratching this thing up. Oh, I'm gonna look like Rudolph by the end of this episode. But happy wife, happy life is so true. And just notice the new if she buys new clothes, if she does her nails a different way. Like or every time she does her nails. Like my boyfriend, every time I go to do my nails, he always, I don't even know if he's fiending for these pictures as much as he acts like he is, but he's always like, I better get my picture. Not like in a weird possessive way. Like I don't deal with men like that. But he'd be on something like, I'm patiently waiting for my nail picture. Like it's always a different variation of like, bitch, send the picture. And I love that. I like that I have, that my person is as excited about my nails as I am. And I love when this is for anyone with a super excited girlfriend who like gets happy about everything. You need to match her excitement. If she comes to you and she's excited about something, this goes back to the whole like, oh, I saw a bird theory, if you know what that is. You need to match her excitement and ask questions and give her ammo to keep being excited about the thing for as long as you humanly can, Like if your girl's excited about something like I don't know, like a job opportunity, and she didn't even, she hasn't even interviewed, she hasn't even, started the process, but she just sent in the application and that was it. And she's really excited and she's going off about all this could mean her new life, with this job and blah 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 blah. You are Satan if you look at her and say, but you didn't even get to like the first phase of interviews. You did like, why are we talking about this if, this job is so far out of reach and it's not even like doable, possible for you? That is the last thing you say. You give in to all the fantasies. You talk to her about, the new place that she wants to buy with the new money from the new job. You talk about how much the boss is gonna love her. You talk about all this stuff. You even be like, oh, you know what? Like we should go to such and such place to help you get like a nice interview outfit. Like do all the things, amp her all the way up, because you want a woman with feminine energy. You want this, you want that. Like, men love saying these things. You need to do your part. I don't want to I'm not going to be feminine and soft and all that if I feel like I'm always on defense because you want to bring me down every second that you can. No. No, 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 no. I am going to be on my feminine la 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 stuff if I can come to you with smiles and joy and blah 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 blah, and you meet me with that same energy. I need that back from you. And no, it's not you being equally feminine. It's you being a supportive man, and that comes off masculine because in the world of gender roles and stuff that I've said before that I do lean into a little bit, your job as a man is to I'm gonna say it. Your job as a man is to get your woman to a place where she can dream her dreams and do whatever it is she wants to do without any fear of failing because you got her regardless. And I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't think it's crazy. Your job is to be able to support your woman, whether or not her business fails, whatever passion project she has and stuff. You need to put her in a position where she can do whatever she wants. She can make money off of it. She can make no money off of it, but she is good. And I feel like people are really scared to say that the whole like masculine, feminine energy, blah 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 blah, blah all that stuff not comes down to, but like heavily has to do with finances, and it does. But though it's not everything, it helps. Like if you really do want that kind of lifestyle, if you want a woman who, lets you lead every time, who's submissive, who's all those things, like you got to step it up. You got to do the thing. And if you can't, like everyone's different. Everyone can find their version of that kind of balance. But if you want the feminine energy, be the masculine man. Something else that I think that men should keep in mind when it comes to dealing with a particular woman, and especially a high maintenance one, is how much time it takes to keep up with whatever hygiene, maintenance, pretty girly, whatever stuff that they keep up. Like for me, my nails are always done. Every time I go to important events, I have like my wash day for my hair that has like a 2 to 3 business day drying period. I tweeze my eyebrows when I can. I pop my blackheads on my face nearly every other night. I am, shaving off all the gross skin on my feet on a regular basis. What else am I doing? What are some other gross things? I'm shaving my mustache off, shaving my armpits, lasering myself when I can, getting a Brazilian when I can. We're doing all these things. And, some women go to like deeper extremes. They're bleaching their assholes, bro. Like, you gotta be a man worth bleaching your asshole for. And as soon as you show that you're not that guy, she's gonna stop. So I feel like every time you feel like treating your woman like anything less than the woman you fell in love with, every time you're gonna treat her less than that, and this is assuming she's keeping up being that woman. Oh my goodness, my nose is so itchy. I'm so sorry. Ooh, but yeah, every time you feel like, treating your woman anything other, let me do that over. Anytime, that means that this is important. Anytime you feel like treating your woman like anything less than the woman you fell in love with, assuming that she is and still is the woman that you fell in love with, think about all that it takes for her to keep up all like the vanity stuff that she does for you. Like, like women keep up with themselves when they're happy and when they feel like they're with someone who deserves to have that version of themselves. And think about all the hours accumulated of her shaving her legs and waxing her cooch and burning the skin on her face to get her mustache off and doing her hair if you have a girl or even a girl who goes to like the hair salon, like all the payments and stuff to keep up with all the things that we keep up with. Think about all that. And if you want her to keep being that way, keep being a man worth doing that for. Next on the list is something I didn't think was important until my boyfriend started doing it, is understanding your woman's cycle. Oh my goodness gracious. There have been so many times, and I have recently gotten off birth control. So within this short period of time, I've had about, I think, like what, 5 periods. And my boyfriend keeps it at like the top of his mind what point in my menstrual cycle I'm in. And it helps so much because sometimes I get a little antsy and I get a little like irritable and annoyed and stuff, and like everything just irks my soul. And he cuts me so much more slack when he knows what phase of my cycle I'm in. So if you're a guy who needs logic and you need to understand why your woman is being the way that she is, track her cycle. Like, take note of when she has her period and when she doesn't, and when she's feeling freaky and all the stuff in between, and use that as data. Use your girlfriend's period as data, and it will help you so much. I'm so grateful. And my boyfriend, he does like extra research. Like, he told me the other day that something happens with our cycles and blah 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 in your brain that make you more creative right before you get your period, like the week before you get your period. And I've become aware of that, and I've put myself in like creative mental spaces a week before my period. And I can do the same exact thing when I'm in a phase that doesn't, promote that. And when the difference is crazy. And I wouldn't have known that unless my boyfriend had told me. But it's like, it's cute that he wants to know more, he wants to understand more, and in return it's even helping me. So understand your woman's cycle. Like, be sneaky with it. Like, my boyfriend went and straight up told me, like, maybe you could do this. Is like, I think it's healthy manipulation. If, let's say your girl's in the creative space or whatever, just like, I don't know, do like cute creative dates before her period. Like paint and sips, or like those things where like you make things out of clay, or if she does social media, like, I don't know, like find cute things to do like that, and she will then be associating you with a lot of positive stuff. And I don't know, I feel like manipulation's okay if you do it the right way. I don't, that's just me. That's just me. We're getting towards the end of this podcast. The overall theme for all of this stuff is that you should just listen to her, listen to what she says, listen to what her body language tells you, just listen to all of it. And my biggest note for men is that you should cater to her, but make sure you're never putting up with her. And I think that's what makes the healthy balance between maintaining your masculine role in her life and being the soft, sensitive, caring man that she needs. And that's always been, something I think is important, at least. Like, I would tell my boyfriend, like, sometimes I check in and I'm like, hey, like, you've been doing a lot for me recently. Do you feel like you're putting up with me? Because there's a very big difference between supporting me because I'm your girl and because you love me, and doing stuff because this girl won't shut up unless I do it. Like, it's different. It's very different. It's like the difference between, cleaning your house because you want to keep your home clean and doing it because your mother told you to. And it's like, there's a different energy put into it, and one builds resentment and the other one is just nurturing. So, my biggest note to men is to make sure that you're catering to your woman to keep her happy, to keep the relationship, good and healthy and warm. Because, I hate when there's conversations about like, oh, like the man does all of this, but what does the woman do? The woman provides a lot of emotional support. I will say that. I know I'm saying this as a woman, but like, I've been in a bunch of relationships, and I can say that men need the warmth. Men need the comfort. Men need all the free stuff that women can give. Men need it. So I don't want to hear anything about what can the woman provide. Yeah, feminism, woo, woo, woo. Like, women have jobs, women can support in the house. Yeah, cool, that's cool. But something that men need is all the free stuff that mainly women can give. Women have that nurture. Women are just caring. Women have a different type of love that men need. And that's what I'll say on that. Men need that. But in order for men to, have that, they have to cater to their woman. A woman needs to feel feminine. A woman needs to feel like she can be soft, like she can just be a girl, as we say on TikTok, like, everything feeds one another. So when you understand your woman and you care about her, and you love her the way that she needs to be loved, then she's feminine and she's soft and she's all these things. And in turn, she can give you, all the stuff that women love saying that, they don't have to do for men, like cooking, doing their laundry, cleaning, giving them massages, all the stuff that women love saying, like, oh no, like I'll never be that whipped. No, like the goal is to be that whipped. Like you should be feeling that way about the person that you're with. You should want to do all the corny, stupid, whatever you want to call it stuff. Like you should want to do all that for your person, but there needs to be a healthy exchange of care and love and security and support and all those things. So it's all one big, complicated, well oiled machine once you get it down packed. And I'm not saying like I'm an expert by any means. I'm just saying I know a lot about how I need and like to be loved. And my man happens to do it. He got it. He's good. So yeah, thank you for listening to this rant slash instructional video. I don't know what to call it. I'm so sorry that my nose has been itching like crazy. Holy cannoli. Like, I don't know what it is. And I know I look insane. Oh, I'm so sorry. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe and give 5 stars if your platform allows you to do so. If you like me and you want to see more of my life, you can find me at Missing the Sunset on Instagram and Missing the Sunset 13 on TikTok. I go on live, letting you guys into more and more and more stuff in my life. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you next week.